Hi, I'm the Wonder Wife Trader, and I'm going to do this video today, just kind of talk about myself and my background, and hopefully that will be helpful to some of you. So usually I don't do face videos for my trading videos because I'm in my PJs, and you guys are not going to see that. So that's one of the things I really like about trading is just the flexibility of it. I'm usually doing it, in the morning, right after my husband gets off to work, and then I trade until I have to. I work part-time, so I will go to work at about 11 o'clock. So I'm usually done by then, can do a couple little things. Um, so I got into trading when my kids, I had homeschooled my kids. I had three of them. And my last one graduated from high school. And it hit right about 2020. In fact, I started practicing trading right during COVID. And if you look at the stock market, it took like a great big dip in the COVID period. And a lot of people were panicking about then and selling out their stocks. Whereas I had just finished up like this period of my life, and Trump was in office. I felt like if anybody could bring the economy around, he probably could. And I had just a little taste of trading in the past and the stock market, but not a whole lot. And I just was thinking, this is probably not a bad time to start investing in the stock market because, this huge drop is kind of temporary and I'm sure it's going to come back. So I started to started an account, and my husband actually had been to a seminar for like a week-long training seminar in New York years before learning about how to trade options and doing different stock trading things. He actually managed his dad's account for a while. He was mostly trading options, but he kind of knew about Thinkorswim platform, and he kind of knew enough to kind of get me started. So I went ahead and logged, I got an account with Thinkorswim, and you can do a paper trading account without having any money in it. So I started kind of playing around with it, and I looked on YouTube, and there's a bunch of stock traders on there. They're doing different styles of trading, and I came across this one. His name is Michael Chin, and it really got my attention because he was trading futures, and he was trading it before he went to work in the morning, and he put a lot of limits on himself, but yet he was making like $200-300 a day. So I thought, well, gosh, this is pretty awesome. And I also had a little bit of the mindset. I know that the mainstream thinking with stock trading is you hold things long term. Well, I was not in a position, I didn't really have a whole lot of money, and I liked the movement. I liked to buy and sell quickly, and I didn't feel like staying in the stock market was necessarily the safest way to go. I know this is like totally backwards thinking for a lot of people, but I felt like if you were out of the market, you were a lot safer because you knew where your money was at that point. But if you got in and then got out, made your money, and then were out of it, I felt like that was a safer way to go than just like buying and holding and hoping for it to go up. That just didn't set well with me. It doesn't compute. So anyway, I was really intrigued by this futures trading that I saw Michael Chin doing. And I played around with some swing trades. There's another guy on YouTube. He would do like catalyst trades where he knew that some big piece of news was coming for this particular company, and so it would probably make it go up. And so he seemed to do pretty well with that. I played around with that for a while. I never really did very well with it. But with futures, I see again, I like patterns. I'm a very impulsive person, and I like to see patterns in things. I do that pretty well, and I have pretty high tolerance for risk, just generally speaking. So futures just like clicked with my personality. I'm very quick to make a decision, and I could tolerate it going out of the profitable margin, and if I could see a bigger pattern that would work for me. So anyway, I really started trading for real with real money in December of 2021. I had gone through all my classes and my training. I had gotten approved for futures training on the Thinkorswim platform. They have a whole class that you're supposed to go through. And I also figured out through doing that definitely trading options was not something that I wanted to do. It was way too complicated. I just didn't think like that. But I could get the technical trading. I understood the supports and resistances and the candles and patterns and things like that. So anyway, I started trading with futures. And I traded pretty successfully between December and April of 2021. And I maintained the amount that I had put in. And I think at the time it was like 12,000 was the minimum initial margin. So I had that much in there, and I was trading that and maintaining it pretty well. But between April and September, I started to lose, and I started to get kind of careless in my trading, and I would hold trades longer than I should have. I didn't have stops put in place. I wasn't really analyzing it very well. At the time, I was only using one time frame, and I was still kind of playing around with different indicators. I wasn't real sure about what I was doing at that point. By November, I had actually lost half of what I had invested initially, and that was pretty discouraging. By a year later, after I'd started in April of 2022, I had lost everything. So that was kind of a low blow. I kind of gave it up for a while at that point, sort of, or thought about it. The thing was, I really enjoyed doing it. I really enjoyed getting up in the morning and trading with my cup of coffee in the morning just for a couple hours. I don't know, it was fun. It was almost like a game to me. So I kept paper trading and practicing, and I came up with the system that I have on my videos now over a very long period of time. It was between April and July of 2022. And I came up with, the different time frames to look at, and I felt like I could start really being more consistent with my trades during that period of time. So my husband was very supportive of me in all of this, and really could see the potential for it, which is what kept me going. And I tried to improve. I tried to start keeping records. I also figured out, that was a very important part of trading was, remembering what you did before. And so I started taking screenshots and going back and analyzing what I had done and just really studying it pretty strictly. And so by July, John and I decided that I was ready to trade for real again. And so we put a little bit less in our account this time. I had actually enough in there for 2 contracts, the previous trading period that I had. This time I realized I only needed to trade 1 contract to really do it, but I needed a little bit of a margin there. So we put basically our whole savings in there, which, with my history, I felt like I had traded pretty successfully for, a few months, 3 or 4 months at this point. And I was not only maintaining it, but I was growing my paper account. And so we decided to take that risk and put all of our savings into this. And so I traded, and I actually did really well. I maintained it. I would actually withdraw money every month as I made money. I paid for a number of things that we needed to, maintain the house. But again, September, October, November, I started to lose momentum a little bit. And November, again, I started like doing stupid trades again. I started holding things in over, a few days, and not getting out within minutes like I usually do. And I actually dropped my account below the minimum initial margin. And so when that happened, that like you get in this trade and it doesn't go well, and if you sell, your buffer that you have there will kick you out, and you can't get back in to trade anymore once you sell that. So you hang on and you hope that it will come up, and then when you can sell at a profit, then you hope that you can maintain your trading. which is a really stupid way to go. Don't ever do that. So I eventually lost that initial margin, and I couldn't trade the ES anymore. I was done. So I started kind of flopping around, and I found another thing to trade. It was the MES, which is the mini S&P futures market, and it required a tenth of what it was before. So I could trade like, multiple MES trades at a time. And again, I did pretty well with that. I maintained it pretty much through January of 2023. And the thing with the MES is that it's not as widely traded as the ES. And so, yeah, it tracks the ES, but your orders don't get filled quite as quickly. There's I don't know, it's just a little clunky. It was very difficult trading, and you had to kind of hold things a little bit longer because you had a lot more tolerance for the movement because you're making a lot less as well. And so I kind of didn't do super well with that. I did okay, but I wouldn't suggest it to doing again. And then from January to March, I started losing a lot again and pretty much zeroed out the account. And I'll never forget, it was March 6th of 2023. See, okay, this is the other thing. John knew I was trading, but he didn't know every single day how much I had made or how much I had lost. And I told him for a while, but then I kind of realized I would get so excited about the profit that I had made for that day that if I said anything to anybody, it would kind of go right to my head, and then I wouldn't trade well the next day. I would get greedy or was more careless, thinking that I could do this when maybe I shouldn't. And so up until that point, he really didn't know what our account balance was. Well, on March 6th, I'll never forget, he found out. And I don't remember if I told him or what. I was down to like almost, well, okay, I think I had lost more than half of what I had. And so he was kind of shocked, as he should have been, and very disappointed, and said, I think you're done. And I think we need to just pull that money out and keep what savings we have left because this is not working. And I said, yeah, you're right. I don't disagree with that. And then I discovered that stock trading is very addictive. And it was a really weird thing. I tried to think of every way possible that I could keep trading. It was like a drug. I had to keep doing it. And that mentality kind of scared me because I never really faced addictions before. And so that was kind of an eye-opener. It's like, okay, addictions, they can mess with your mind, and anything that you're addicted to, they can make you not think clearly about what you're doing. And it's always a danger to get addicted to something. And I discovered I was really addicted to stock trading. It was just, and it was making me do stupid stuff that I wouldn't normally do. I mean, I'm a big risk taker, but still, that was beyond, what I should have done. And I could see that. It's just, I couldn't quite help myself. So having that account like completely shut down and the money taken out of it at that point, I think was a really good thing for me. And, I was disappointed in myself. I felt bad. It was like right before his birthday. And this is the thanks that I'm giving him. Managing our money like this. And I don't know, it was very difficult. And I struggled with, should I keep going? Should I not? Is it really worth it? I don't know. Is this not something I should be messing with? And I went ahead and got a part-time job working. And like I mentioned earlier, I usually leave for work about 11 in the morning. And the reason I actually set my schedule like that was because I was still paper trading, but I wanted the accountability of having someplace that I needed to be and not sitting there all day and trading, because that's what I kind of ended up doing. I would I would, I, I didn't really have anything, but I'm a homemaker, so it was easy to put off house cleaning and dishes and laundry and stuff like that and just sit there and trade because I felt like this was more important or it was more fun. It's kind of like a game. And so I would sit there all day long and I would trade and I would not do well. And then I would be burned out, tired, and then I'd be really mad at myself for not getting everything done that I needed to do. So having that job kind of helped give me something that I needed to stop and do. So that was a good thing. So anyway, I kept paper trading. I decided, I just feel like this is something I'm pretty good at. I just feel like the emotional part is what's holding me back, and I need to get a grip on that. I need to not be addicted to it. I need to keep myself in check. And that's when I started doing YouTube videos. And the whole reason that I'm doing them is so that I can go back and not only analyze myself, what I traded for the day, and kind of see was I on the right track? Was I out of whack? Was I thinking clearly? Was I making good decisions? I could go back and analyze that about myself. But I also have the viewers, possible viewers. I don't even care if anybody's watching me or not, because just knowing that somebody might watch is enough to say, you know what, somebody's going to be seeing this and it better be good. And I better not be doing something stupid. So the YouTube videos have been immensely helpful in keeping me accountable. And who knows if something will come of it beyond that or not. But and the other thing is too, I get so excited about trading that I like to teach, and so it's an opportunity for me to pass on the how-to of doing what I'm doing to somebody, my kids or whoever else might be interested, because I do see a lot of potential there. So that's my story. That's my background. I really don't have, any other background in stock trading other than that. I can see patterns, and I've heard that to do successful stock trading, you have to just keep at it. Don't give up. And I hear that over and over again. And so I haven't given up yet. We'll see how far it goes. So anyway,